I will die on that hill.
I absolutely love Miley Cyrus.
You have failed this
Right, so I get to say it. Right on.
sickest night ever.
Is this? What are we doing?
No. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Call Guys podcast. I'm Gunner, also known as Chico Noise, 3-time podcast host. And alongside me, as always, it's Chips Ahoy, Colton, and our guest for episode 91, our final part of our Actors series. This guy absolutely loves our actor subject person for tonight. It is Coach Rob, a recurring guest on the Indiana Chiefs Fans podcast, and he's been on the Call Guys. Episode 52 came and did a little spot for episode 52. Coach Rob Nickerson, whatever you want to call him. Rob.
Good evening, Call Guys.
Yes,
Effort. I'll give you effort for that.
maybe not an exact A for effort, but how about a good C minus?
These get degrees, brother.
That's right.
That's right.
What's up,
That's
Rob?
right. Not much.
Rob, I'm kind of surprised you were able to make time for us this evening, especially coming off of that heart-wrenching Chiefs loss. How have you not fired the wide receiver coach for the Kansas City Chiefs yet?
Because I was over it by the time the Cowboys-Eagles game started.
Oh, wow. That's quick.
I mean, he was offside. I'm not going to say he wasn't. I think my biggest issue right now is all the crap that Mahomes is getting for his
tirade.
out. Yeah. And I can remember a few years ago, a certain person they call the GOAT throwing Surface Pros and helmets, and nobody said anything about the GOAT.
Thomas.
They just
Thomas talking about you.
Jay
Thomas.
Cutler, I know Jay Cutler would have some spells.
I don't think Jay Cutler could throw a fit if he even tried.
Oh no, he could. He told his offensive coordinator to F off during Sunday Night Football with the camera like right there. It got picked up big time.
Hey, that's Rob's getting a phone call.
Yeah, Coach, I do agree with that statement. It is kind of odd how Mahomes doesn't get the benefit of the doubt. I think the worst part about it was that the audio was picked up of the handshake between him and Allen.
Yeah.
And that just gives him a terrible, terrible look. Like the on the field, like the sideline views that he was showing, like going after the officials, like that was fine, heat of the moment.
Yeah.
I understand that. But when they picked up that sound of him telling Allen, that was BS, and that's when it becomes an issue.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm not disagreeing with you on that. I mean, it's just I listened to Moving the Change on Sirius FM or XM, and I get this. I'm listening, and this Raiders fan calls and calling Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes a bunch of crybabies, and I'm thinking, I think a few years back you had a coach that was a bigger crybaby than everybody, in Mr. John Gruden. But yeah, we're going to go through our time. I don't remember the greatest teams of all time having a good year every year. But like I said, he was definitely offside. I can't do anything about it. Can't change it. It's over with. I mean, I felt for Gunner and Jeremy when they were there and saw that great play. I mean, that was an awesome play. I mean, him turning and throwing the ball to Tony, but hey, it happens. On to New England.
That was my first question to Gunner when I called him this week. I said, dude, what was it like when that play happened? And because I've been in some places, like at some like pro sporting events where huge stuff has happened, and there's like this weird vibe and feeling in the atmosphere just in that small area is is awesome. And then to have it get literally sucked out of the stadium 10 seconds later.
So fast.
Yep.
So fast.
Oh, that'd have been rough.
Colton, did I do you justice on Indiana Chiefs fans?
No, you didn't, man. No, you didn't, brother. I'm really disappointed. Coach Rob, I tried to coach Gunner into getting a little fired up on Indiana Chiefs fans this week, or technically last week. And the guy I just don't think he has the it factor. I tried to tell him that Bill and Ted was the worst movie ever, and go in with that passion and fire that you'd have to tell that person off when you're going into Indiana Chiefs fans this week. And brother just dropped the ball, and I'm very disappointed.
I don't think he's got a bad side in him. I mean,
I know that's what kind of worries me a little bit. I need to know if some dude is gonna, if they're gonna, if a crew's gonna roll up. Yeah, what are we?
I'm trying to Hulk out here. I can't pull a Patrick Mahomes and flip a switch in 2 seconds and start screaming at refs. And
well, that's what I need. I need that out of you on Indiana Chiefs fans. That's what we need. The fans are calling for it.
I'll work with him on that one at work.
I even offered to go on the show just to be the instigator, to just say stuff that would just, I know I could get Jeremy going, but
yeah. I mean, he doesn't. It's like I tell people I have what they call the switch because I played high school football. So every Friday, it doesn't matter whether I've been out 38 years. Somebody says something, and it's like the switch goes on, and it's like hard to turn off. We just got to get Gunner to be able to have that switch.
We got to find it for him because I don't think he even knows where it's at.
No, it's wherever it's at. It's on off. Flip down.
Flip down. It's probably not even wired up to an outlet.
Oh no, it's probably floating in my brain somewhere and just laying there.
Well, that's what we like about you, Gunner. You're just so laid back, easy-going.
All about that positivity, brother.
There's a plus sign on my shirt today. Look at that. Positivity. It is. It's right. Right there.
So many weeks we could get him to show that tag.
Every time we mention it.
Coach Rob, I just had to throw you a little little bone on some Indiana Chiefs fans. You're welcome, Jeremy, for the plug. So
like I said, I was just, I was ticked, and then the Sunday night game started, and I'm like going, can't change it. Yeah, now we just gotta hope for. Oh wait, the Dolphins did lose. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, talk about a week to lose. Like, man, oh man. It just seems like that's when the Chiefs know when to lose.
Yeah. Lose when we need to.
Yep.
Now you just got to watch out for the Broncos.
They'll get beat. They'll get beat by Detroit this week, and we'll be okay. Wait,
I don't know. The Bears handled them.
Yeah. I will be in Michigan actually watching that game with a bunch of Detroit fans on Saturday night, so that should be fun.
Good luck. Don't wear your Chief stuff.
Yeah.
Do wear your Chief
I
stuff.
will. Well, yeah, we'll be watching the Chiefs game at 1 on Sunday while I'm there too, so you best believe I'm wearing Chief stuff. But Rob, it's been a while. We talk about the Call Guys together probably once or twice a week.
Yeah.
So you got to answer the question. What you been watching?
What have I been watching? Well, I watched a movie that I probably will never ever watch again. Office Christmas Party, and that was stupid. Real stupid. Just going documentaries on Netflix. I'm not really sure. I just watch whatever I feel like watching. It's just different things. I haven't finished Loki a long time ago, which I loved your guys's take on Loki. I did agree that it did get a little bit slow in the middle and then picked up at the end, but I definitely liked it. I just watch a lot. I watch a lot of documentaries, sports documentaries. There was one on Yogi Berra. I've been
Was that
watching.
one good?
Very good, very good.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
No, what
It
Colton's
was.
watching tonight.
Oh, I know. I'll tell you what I'm watching tonight.
What are you watching tonight?
Chamber of Secrets. I've started Harry Potter.
I thought you were gonna say like Home Alone 2.
No.
Oh, and I do watch The Masked Singer every week too.
Nice.
Oh man.
You guys didn't start it yet, did you, Colton?
I don't think we're gonna watch it. She hasn't brought it up once, hasn't mentioned it once.
Man, the one season I start watching again, Colton's not watching.
I know. We've watched like I think we've all watched, but we've watched all but this season and the first season. We've watched them all.
Dang. Dang. Well, nice.
So what are you guys watching?
I'm watching Harry Potter right now.
Yeah. My boy.
Oh, my boy. That's my son. That's my son. Oh, that scene hits different right now. It hits way
Sorry.
different than when the first time I saw it because I just laughed. I was like, "Oh, that is terrible."
Robbie Pats.
when do you? Okay, let's say you watch that, and then you watch, let's say, his vampire movie. Do you go, "Oh, it's Cedric Diggory"? I
Oh,
always do that to my wife. She gets so mad at me. Oh, look, it's Cedric Diggory. And then if you watch Harry Potter, I'm like, oh, look it's Edward.
Ed.
I wonder if his skin is shiny. Oh my.
Mhm. Skin of a killer, Colton. Skin of a killer.
Oh my gosh. Skin of a killer. Oh, it's so stupid. So stupid.
No.
But I watched the Monuments Men movie. One with George Clooney, John Goodman, Matt Damon about World War II collecting the artifacts and paintings and statues that Hitler stole from all across of Europe to make into his own museum essentially. Um that was okay, it seemed a little too movie-esque, but you got to do
Hollywood-ish.
something. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those like, I wonder what's real. The names probably. So, so yeah, I watched that. That was okay. But yeah, I'm just Parks and Rec and Harry Potter. So, what about
Parks
you,
and
Gunnar?
Rec
You watch
and
anything new?
I've been watching Parks and Rec and HP. No. No, Christmas movies full swing still. So we finished the Santa Claus trilogy. Stopped watching the show because it's absolutely terrible.
Oh,
Yeah,
dang.
Second season is not good.
horrible.
So we just started Home Alone 3, and that's where we'll stop on those because all the ones after that are terrible.
What?
Yeah, 1, 2, and 3 only. And then we're gonna move on to a couple comedies. We're gonna watch Elf and Christmas Vacation, and then we're gonna
Christmas
go.
vacation.
I think then we're gonna go on to like Gremlins and some odds and ends from there. So
Get White Christmas in there, man. That's a good one.
we'll do some cartoons. We'll do Year Without a Santa Claus, and
And you'll do White Christmas.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, you will.
I got a
That's
whole list still. So
the first one we watch every year is White Christmas.
the last one we'll watch is It's a Wonderful Life.
Same with us.
Yep. That
Just
is.
before we go to bed.
Yep. That is the Christmas Eve movie.
Coach, do you have a Christmas Eve movie?
Other than
Well,
It's a Wonderful Life.
usually it starts out with Jim Carrey's Grinch, then the first animated Grinch, Christmas Vacation. We may get Elf in there, and then It's a Wonderful Life.
Thanks for
Nice.
Christmas Eve is movie day.
Yes.
That's
That's
okay.
our-
Nothing wrong with that.
That's when I allow it.
Yeah. Our new tradition is now the Emperor and my mom, the rocker chick, come on Christmas Eve day sometime. And they hang out for the day. this year we'll probably watch football. I think there's a couple Christmas Eve games, isn't there? So
Yeah, because it's on Christmas Eve is on a Sunday.
yeah. So we'll have that, and then you have Christmas Day games this year also. So
Boo.
football, football. But yeah, we'll watch It's a Wonderful Life. We probably won't watch anything other than that, but yeah.
Foosball.
Football is the devil.
My mama said alligators are so angry because they got all them teeth and no toothbrush.
So I did get Rob a little late for this episode. We had some plans that had to get switched up, but I thought this was a perfect time to do this. And then I also asked him really late if he would bring a question of the pod, about 3 minutes before we started recording. So, Rob, question of the pod.
All right. If you could meet one famous person and spend a day with them, who would it be?
Man, that's tough.
It is tough, but I think I have an answer. I'm gonna go Nathan Fillion. Just because I love Castle. I love him as an actor. And he seems like he'd be a really funny dude to hang out with, and he's got interest in a lot of like video games and just fun action stuff. Like I feel like he'd be fun to hang out with for just a day, just one day. I think it'd be good. I think he'd be fun. Colton.
Nice. Coach, you go.
No, you go.
Simon Pegg.
Oh, yeah.
I think that would be a lot of fun. I really like the movies he's done. I'd just like to sit and talk to him about how he, how he started from Spaced. It's a TV show from the late 90s. How really that kind of catapulted his career and how he was able to take a lot of people with him from the beginning to where he is now. And, just sit there, pick his brain and just talk. And I think he'd be a fun lunch guy. So I'd definitely go with Simon Pegg.
What would you buy him for lunch?
What would I buy him for lunch?
Yeah, if you took him out to lunch that day.
I'd probably start with a Guinness.
Of course.
Don't
Not
even know
working that day.
but I'd offer him a Guinness.
Not working that day.
Man, I don't know. If he would, well, the real question is he coming here or am I going there?
Oh,
because if he's coming here, I think I'm pulling out a tenderloin somewhere.
yeah. Especially if he's coming to Indiana, that would make sense.
Yeah, Indiana.
Not Penguin Point though. Sorry.
Yeah, we can't do Penguin. I was gonna say the Big Wally, but we can't do that no more. Too soon.
Too soon. Yeah. All right, Rob, what do you got?
Well, mine would have been who we're going to talk about tonight. Yeah. I would have loved to spend just one day with Mr. Robin Williams. Just to see how his mind worked. I mean, he always, that mind was going 90 miles an hour. And just to spend the day with him would have been just awesome.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, the day he died, it was like a shot through the heart, because he did so much. So, but that's the guy.
That's the guy.
That's the guy.
Rob's segueing us. Look at that.
Seamlessly.
Seamless segues by Rob Nickerson. If you'd like to subscribe
to Seamless Segues. I hear a sponsorship.
Yes, if you'd like to subscribe to Seamless Segues with Rob, check out his OnlyFans.
I have only 2.5 subscribers, but that's okay.
2.5?
You don't want to know about that half.
Yeah, the half. Yeah. That's a story right there. All right. Well, I guess let's get into it then. I mean, that's a good answer. What would you buy him for lunch if you took him out to lunch?
What would I buy him for lunch?
Yeah, if you took Rob, if you would have, whatever he wanted.
Whatever he wanted.
Okay. All right. Well, Robin Williams, like I said at the beginning of the episode, one of Rob's favorite actors of all time, which is obviously why he's on this episode. And I think when we started the actor series and I had the list and I told Rob who was all on the list, he's like, I'll be on that Robin Williams episode. He's like, just tell me when and where. So, and if you can't tell, Mrs. Doubtfire peeking over his shoulder.
I gotta learn.
You gotta go the right direction. Yep, there she is.
Right there.
Yep. Yep. So, yeah, knew it was a perfect episode for Rob to be on here with us. So let's get into it. Robin Williams, born July 21st, 1951 in Chicago, Illinois. His father, Robert Williams, was actually an exec at the Ford plant here in Indiana. His mother was a model. His great-grandfather was a governor and a senator of Mississippi. So he comes from people that did pretty decent in their careers. He studied political science at Claremont Men's College and went to Juilliard to focus on theater soon after that. Eventually, he started in stand-up and was actually found. I don't know exactly where he was performing in nightclubs, but somebody had found him and said, "You need to do some roles, some acting roles." So his first roles were mostly small on shows. He was on Happy Days, My Favorite Orkin, and Mork and Mindy. And then his first starring role was in 1980. His first main character starring role was Popeye. So, and then he went on to do a ton of other movies that we all love, like Good Morning Vietnam, which Rob quoted here at the beginning. Of course, Flubber. Everybody loves Flubber. And
Do we?
the very, very, very famous Jumanji. So yeah, Robin Williams. Rob, do you have anything you want to say about Robin Williams? I know you're a huge fan.
Just the fact I've read his biography. He was the only child.
Oh yeah,
So he spent a lot of times up in his room doing voices with his toy soldiers. And he went to Juilliard with Christopher Reeves. They
nice.
were very, very, very close friends.
Superman.
Superman himself. And one of the things that I always found astounding is that I've read several things where when he would do movies, he would always look for homeless people to be extras in the movie. He would tell the director that he wanted to have homeless people to be extras, give them a little bit of money or whatever, just
Money and a
help.
makeover and
Yeah, yep, give them a little bit of I don't know, confidence, whatever you want to call it. Feel good about yourself. Um, he was just, he was on Laughing. I saw that there was an episode he was on Laughing before he even did Happy Days or Mork and Mindy. So
nice.
and he did start at the Improv.
Yes, the
with
Improv.
Mitzi Shore. That's who owned it. Or
Colton, you got anything on Robin Williams?
I think with Robin Williams, I think it really shined a light towards men's mental health. About how I don't know. I feel like it's mostly with men. Maybe it's because of how I deal with it, but a way I deal with, and a lot of men deal with. I think, you know, sad times, bad times is with laughter. If you're laughing, you can't. It goes away. That temporary pain goes away, and I think he really did a good job of, um, kind of with um everything that went on with him mentally and how he eventually died. um I think really allowed other men to kind of talk a little bit more openly about it, because I do feel like it is the ones who are the funniest, the ones who are the happiest on the outside, are the ones who are hurting the most on the inside. And I think he almost made it somewhat okay for you to want to reach out and not cope and deal with it in that way and form, because it it might ultimately not help you. And I think it was I think it's tough to think about, because I think I dealt with some stuff like that before personally in coping, and um not wanting to be me. So wanting to be the funniest guy in the room or just make someone laugh, you know, I can relate to that. Um, I haven't lost that battle, so to speak. So I think Robin did, unfortunately. But I think with his death really opened up avenues for men to talk about their mental health with others. So
Hmm. Yeah. Have either of you watched Robin's Wish, the documentary? I'm assuming
Yes.
Rob, was it pretty good?
Yeah. It explained a lot of the disease that um, took him. Um,
Lewy body
how
dementia.
Yeah, Lewy body dementia, and that was one thing in that show that was astounding. They lived in a gated community, and his neighbors knew that something was wrong because he was. It didn't matter to him that he was Robin Williams. You were his neighbor. He walk out. Hey, let's go for a walk. Let's or go. Let me help you do this. Or Robin Williams never let his fame get to him. He never was bigger or better than anybody else. In just by listening to that show, his neighbors said he was just it was just Robin Williams. Didn't matter that he was a mega star. He was Robin Williams, and that's
Yeah.
how he was.
So we might have to check that documentary out, Colton. I've never seen it. Looks like it came out in 2020 ish. Robin did pass away. August 11th, 2014, I think was the date.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah. So there you go. Little history and facts, some stuff about Robin Williams. Now, I think I could probably name Rob's top three movies because I think we've talked about this before. I don't know Colton's. I think I might know maybe one or two of them. But it was tough to pick a top three.
Hmm.
I'm going through them and looking at all the movies that I've watched and everything he did in the late 70s, early 80s, and then all of the big blockbusters from the 90s, and then he just kind of didn't do anything really. Anything big, and up from 2000 to 2014 was kind of a lull for his career. So it'd be interesting to see what decade we all pick our movies from. Because those 3 decades he had quite a few movies. So if you guys are ready, let's do it. Top three.
Let's go.
Who's starting?
I can start.
Okay.
Okay.
Number three.
Um, I grew up watching it all the time as a little kid. Probably shouldn't have, but I thought it was funny, so I watched it. And that is the 93 hit Mrs. Doubtfire. Talk about a movie ahead of its time. And Robin Williams did a lot of roles that were ahead of the times. You know, if he was I feel like in today's Hollywood, he would get a lot of movie roles for just for the roles he's already portrayed himself in. So I think of like Birdcage. I think of Mrs. Doubtfire. Um, there's a couple other ones that he did that were definitely not PC, maybe, or a little bit ahead. I'm just gonna say ahead of its time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised they flew back then, but I didn't think anything of it. Robin Williams just trying to spend more time with his kids, and he's funny, so
Yeah.
don't think much about it. So
The
yeah, no, I
whole.
just
Oh, go
what?
ahead, Rob. Go ahead, Rob.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say that whole disguise thing, like the whole being in a disguise. This was like the hit to take off for that kind of movie, because that after Mrs. Doubtfire, it was like white chicks and like all these movies where people are in fake
like full
full,
get up
yeah,
disguise.
yeah, to try to do something. So
Yeah, so yeah, just a funny movie. Obviously quoting hello,
hello.
you could say it 1,000 different ways and still have it and still laugh.
Yeah.
Um, oh man, yeah, Pierce Brosnan. I'm just a great cast anyway of a movie, but um, I just it's a good movie. That's all I can say. So that's my number three. I don't know who's going next, but what's your
I'll
number
go
three?
next.
Okay.
Rob.
1997. He won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor in this one. Good Will Hunting. It's just it shows his diversity as an actor. He was very serious, but he also could crack some jokes in them. And you think about it, it was that was his thing. He just could do that. It kind of shows his Juilliard training, I believe, in the way he
Mm-hmm.
could act.
Yeah. Yeah. Or this is I think we're all gonna have the same top three. Probably in different order though.
Oh my.
Yeah. Good Will Hunting is one of my favorite Miramax films. I think it's great. Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Robin Williams. I mean, just once again a star-studded cast. But that was Miramax, right? Miramax did that. They kept the same actors doing the
Yeah.
same movie. They pretty much had a universe at that point, right? It was just these same actors coming back to back to back. And yeah, Good Will Hunting is a really fun movie. My number
Yeah.
three. My number three. And I'm gonna look at the camera and say, Jake, I'm doing this for you. It's Aladdin. I put it in my top three just for you. Who doesn't love Genie, right? Genie is Robin Williams, right? You
Iconic.
think, yeah, you think if somebody starts talking about a genie, you either think of a lady coming out of a lamp or you think of Robin Williams. Like there's two extremes to a genie, and those are the two. And this is one of my probably I would say Aladdin's probably my top five Disney films. I mean, I have we done that? Have we done top five Disney films?
Yeah, we did it with your wife.
Yeah, I thought so. I think Aladdin was in there. I don't really remember. It's been a while. Maybe it would be my top 10 if we did top five if it wasn't in there. But yeah, you get that funny, charismatic, happy to be out of his lamp, but also has to do his job, and then ends up caring about Aladdin. And I feel like as much as he could, Robin Williams played this character as himself. Like Genie is Robin Williams as an animated character, and and it just fits him. It works. He made it what he wanted it to make it, and it's phenomenal. So it's my number three, 1992, Aladdin. Colton, your number two make you cry?
It has moments where it makes me cry. You want to know why?
Why?
Do you like apples?
You like apples?
Because I got her number. That's right. Goodwill Hunting's to my number two. Just a great movie.
How
I
do you
mean, you
like them
nailed it.
apples?
You nailed it, man. That movie is just fantastic. Just a fantastic cast. I felt like Robin Williams' character really brought that movie to another level. And what his character being the psychiatrist and talking about how he meets his wife and how Matt Damon's able to really relate to that moment of what it meant. And he's like, well, no, I didn't go to that game. I was at a bar meeting my wife at the time, and he does a really good job of explaining to Matt what is more important in life. And that great line, had to go see about a girl. Son of a stole my line. Just classic Robin Williams. Like, is great. Just a fantastic, fantastic movie. I love it. It's a great movie, and that
So
is my
many
number two.
intense moments too, between Matt Damon and Robin Williams, which
Oh yeah.
really, really get you.
Oh, for sure, for sure. So that is my number 2. Rob, does your number 2 make you cry?
With laughter.
Oh,
Mrs. Doubtfire. I,
nice.
I I mean, him cleaning the living room to "Dude Looks Like a Lady." They're at the country club. Oh, sir, it's a dry bright fruity. Did you forget to tip the wait staff? Him just being, and then when he's actually gets uh, they're in the bar when he actually is pitching the TV show he wants to do, just being able to flip flop
Oh,
from, and it's I just laughed like the whole time, it was, or when he's trying to become Mrs. Doubtfire, and he's got his brother who's and his partner, and they're trying to get him in. I'm ready for my close up, Mr. DeVille. And then he's got the red. Do you think this would scare the children?
oh my gosh. Oh, you're right. I mean, that movie is just it's
It's great. It's a great movie.
Yeah, I don't. You
Great
just
movie.
what else can you say?
You can't. I mean, you just can't say anything. It's just one of those movies that, I mean, it's on Netflix, and I wanted to watch it last a couple nights ago, and the wife goes, it's awfully late to be watching Mrs. Doubtfire." So it's never too late to watch Mrs. Doubtfire.
That's right.
Yeah, it's only late because she knows that you'll lay down in bed and you'll just be quoting it for the next 2 hours after it's over.
You're about right.
Yeah. Oh my.
Oh my.
Okay, well, I gotta change my number 2. We all can't have the same movies over and over again. So my number 2 is Mrs. Doubtfire. I literally have it written here. But in my honorable mentions, I have Jumanji as a close number 3. So I'm gonna put Jumanji in here. I'll switch it. Aladdin can go number 2. Jumanji's number 3. And let me just say, Jumanji is one of those movies that if it's on TV, you're probably just
Yes.
gonna watch it because it sucks you in. It's super fun. Robin Williams is amazing. It kicked off great sequels. I actually enjoyed both of the sequels that they've had come out. And then if you've ever watched Zathura, which is just a new age version of Jumanji, it's really fun. But yeah, it's one of those that made video game or not video games, but games feel real, right? Like you play all these board games growing up and it's just moving a piece on a board, but you watch Jumanji and you're like, wow, it's coming to life. And once again, Robin Williams just does his thing. He's funny, but he's also serious. The movie's just good overall. And the monkeys driving the police car, the stampede, just everything. It's a great movie. I don't have the year and stuff because I didn't pull it because it was honorable mentions, but
That's okay.
I'm sure it was sometime in the 90s.
So we do an honorable mentions then?
Yes, let's do honorable
How many
mentions.
honorable mentions do we want to do?
As many as you got.
I mean,
All of
Okay.
them, all of Robin Williams movies.
yeah, I've got the Dead Poet Society.
Yep.
Classic, great movie. I've got Hook.
Yes.
I was another movie I would watch all the time at my grandma's house was Hook. Just fantastic. I really like Robots.
Yeah,
The
Robots is
animated
great.
film Robots. I think that's
I'm
great.
singing in the oil.
Oh. And then just for S and G's because it's so stupid. It's flubber.
Yeah.
It is just a dumb movie.
Mhm.
And it's like Robin Williams. The only reason why I'm watching this movie is because you're in it. Like he reminds me of a lot of like Ryan Reynolds can be in a movie, and I'm gonna watch it, and I'm gonna think it's good because Ryan Reynolds is in it. That's the same thing when I was growing up with Robin Williams. He's in it. It's gonna be good.
Yep.
It might not be good, but
But
he'll
it's
be
gonna be
good.
good. Nice. S&Gs. Love her.
Okay, Coach, you got anything I didn't say?
Good Morning Vietnam.
Yep.
Patch Adams,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Fisher King.
All right.
I did have Dead Poet Society and Goodwill Hunting were a real. It was almost like a tie. I mean, I could watch either one of them.
Okay, Gunnar, what do you got?
I only have one that you guys didn't mention. I Good Morning Vietnam. I had Jumanji was originally on there. Dead Poet Society, but also Crazy Ones, which was one of his newer movies that actually was pretty decent. I don't know if you guys ever watched it, but more of a drama kind of dramedy, I guess. But it's a fun movie, and it obviously a little bit older, Robin Williams, but um, he was still funny when he was a little bit older. So, all right, number ones, numero unos.
The 87 classic, Good Morning Vietnam. My grandfather was a CB in Vietnam. And he actually remembers, he used to tell my dad, I think, about a radio personality and how out off-putting he could be and how fun it was. Well, no, I wouldn't say fun, but how different he was on the radio than others. So that was kind of cool. It kind of reminds me of a Full Metal Jacket to an extent, where the first half of the movie is fun, it's light, it's great, and then you get to the second half of the movie and you remember Vietnam was not a good time to be over there, and you kind of go through that, and we get a really young Forrest Whitaker, and just that relationship he builds there. And just, I think it's just a great, great movie. And it was one of the first serious roles I saw Robin Williams in. Um, and that's not even like saying that movie was, completely
Wasn't 100%
serious all the
serious,
time.
but
Yeah. But that was the first time I ever saw him. Cause I mean, you get to that, I don't know. You guys you've seen the movie. I mean, you get to the end and he's questioning his buddy who's a leader in the VC, and he's trying to talk to him and like just figure him out, and it's just not working. And that was the first time I ever saw him in a serious role. So, um, so yeah, I tend to float to that one if it's on. If it's on, I always watch it wherever it is, even if it's in the serious parts.
yeah. Nice.
Classic line from that movie.
What did 3 up and 3 down mean to you, soldier, airman? End of an inning.
End of an inning, sir.
Oh my gosh.
He's talking to the guy from his buddy that is in the VC. Where he's kind of funny. This is not going to look good on a resume.
Yep. Just,
man.
oh my gosh, just
Dyke. We can't say Dyke. It's women in comfortable shoes.
women in comfortable shoes. Yeah. Oh my gosh. What's the O stand for? Oh my gosh, it's early.
It's hot.
It's hot. It's real hot. It's damn hot. It's hot on the sun. Hot. That's nice when you're with a lady, but ain't no good when you're out in the jungle.
Oh.
Too good.
Oh,
Too good.
it's just great. It's just great. And I did know, or I did see or hear or read for somewhere that the majority of his lines on the radio was ad lib. They just said, "Hey, just go." And I was like, "Whoa!" It's just like, that's just that typical Robin Williams
Improv.
and it's just, it's just so funny, so funny.
Love it. Love it.
Coach, what's your number one?
Number one. You've mentioned it. I'm going Aladdin. To me, that was pure Robin Williams. Disney let him just be himself. I heard in an interview, he said there was probably more left on the floor from the editing than that was in the movie. If they would have left everything in it, been a 3-hour movie, because he went all out and they basically just drew the genie around his voice, and so it's. I mean, I remember when it came out, I was like, I don't think I'm going to go see this kids movie, and then like you, Robin Williams is in it. I'm going to go see this movie, and it's one of my. It's my number one. I mean, I don't care where it could be, start, finish, almost to the end, and I'm going to watch it.
Nice. I can't remember the last. I want to go watch Aladdin. It's been a while. But and yeah, like I said, it's one of those Disney movies that is just phenomenal with a half-ass remake.
Whoa, Prince of Thieves was pretty good.
Will Smith.
You're talking that one? Hey,
Yeah.
I'll say this, and I was actually going to ask you, Coach Rob, what you thought about the Will Smith version of the genie. What was your take? What's your take on him?
I wasn't impressed, but I did hear Will say that he was not going to try to be a Robin Williams. He was going to do it
His own way.
He said he was going to do it his way, because he said he could never have been able to do the things that Robin Williams did.
So I heard that quote, and I gained a lot of respect. I gave a lot of respect to Will Smith when he said that, because he was absolutely right. Because if he would have tried, he would have got chastised and, just ate up and never get a Disney movie, even before everything, this stuff happened. I mean,
he wouldn't have been able to do it either. Anyways, I mean, he wouldn't have been able to do that. There's no way.
No, he would have had to go back to like early Fresh Prince of Bel-Air days and like somehow find gold in that vault. But I'll say this: when I watched the movie, that Will Smith was the only character that I liked in that movie, because I felt like he actually gave the genie his own spin, and I was going in afraid of that character. I was thinking that was going to be at the beginning of the movie. I was like, I'm going to hate the genie from the start, and by the time I was done, it's the only character I liked. And I think it's mostly because he didn't try to be Robin Williams.
Yeah,
and I really, really appreciated that.
Yeah, I've heard people say that, like, I think Jack Black's okay, but they've said that Jack Black's going to be the next Robin Williams. I said, people, you're never going to have another Robin Williams. Just get over it. You're never going to have him. It's
Jack Black is Jack Black. Like,
yeah.
There's nobody's ever going to be the next Jack Black, right? It's not. There's no way. Like, just needs to stop there. Nobody needs to be anybody.
Nope. And like I said, Jack Black is Jack Black, and Robin Williams is Robin Williams.
Yeah. I think it's okay, especially in acting, and to a certain degree in sports. Like, it's okay to be the best Robin Williams. It's okay to be the best, Patrick Mahomes. Name whatever you want to put. Like, I think we get caught up in this society of of always having to be right or always having to have like the last word. That's how I like to put it. We forget that a lot of greatness still goes on around. If you're still just focused on one thing, you miss out on some of that greatness from others. And that's the one thing I wish we would kind of get back to a little bit in this world. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's like when you were saying let's compare Jordan to LeBron.
Correct.
Different eras in basketball.
Mm-hmm. Different play style.
LeBron.
Different.
Yep. LeBron's LeBron. Michael was Michael.
Michael was Michael, and Kobe was Kobe. Wilt was Wilt, and Russell was Russell. Like, the list can go on and on.
Yeah.
You can go Bernard King. You can go Nate Archibald. You can. I know, Gunnar, no idea what these names are. I'm saying.
I mean, I knew the first like 5 until you started going way out of like probably People have,
But I
Cool.
mean, you can go and find 4 or 5 guys in each decade in every sport who was the greatest of all time. I mean, my dad is willing to die on the hill that Terry Bradshaw is the greatest quarterback ever. He is going to die on that hill. And I said, well, good luck for you, boss.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, thumbs up to you. Not who I'm picking.
Terry.
But that's just it though. I mean, we live in that society right now where you have to be right. And if you're not right, if you don't agree with me, then you're wrong.
Right.
And you just miss out on so much. And really what the game's about.
Nobody's humble anymore. Nobody.
Well, I mean,
sit down, be humble. Who said that?
Me.
Sit down.
Be humble.
Sit down.
Say that.
Be humble.
That's gonna bug me.
I cannot think of who that was.
Don't worry, I'm on it now.
Was Khalifa? Maybe.
No.
I don't know. I don't listen to rap.
Sit down. Oh, Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick Lamar. There you go. But yeah,
there we go.
Nobody does that anymore. Nobody's humble.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, I definitely hard to argue that fact with you. Gunnar, have we done your number one yet?
No, we were having a great conversation.
Okay, Gunnar, what's your number one, man?
We've already talked about this movie about 14 times, so I'm just gonna say it's one of my favorite Miramax films. Like I said before, stars Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Robin Williams. Matt Damon is a janitor at MIT who's a math whiz, and he says, "How do you like them apples?" 1997, Good Will Hunting. Like Colton said, it just has so many scenes that really pull on you. It's great. The bench scene where they're sitting out on the bench in the right off campus,
at the park.
I'm pretty sure, at the park. Yeah, it's just great. Robin Williams plays a phenomenal fatherly kind of I don't even know, the therapist kind of character for Matt Damon, which is nice. He's there, he asks him questions, he kind of tries to teach him all this stuff, and it's a great movie. It is. I love it, and that's why it's my number one. So yeah. Be humble.
Now, do you guys feel that he ever had a bad movie?
Flubber.
I would agree that Flubber was not great. Let me go back to
no hesitation. Return of Jafar.
The worst one for me is Death to Smoochie.
Oh, I've heard that one does get a lot of hate.
Yeah.
Patch Adams, like cult classic hate film. Like people love to hate that film.
I thought it was a great movie.
And I mean, I think it's just because the premise of his character is kind of easy to poke fun at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because a lot of be like, you're a terminal patient, and the last thing you want to do is listen to some guy tell jokes, which, that's the dark side of it. Ever seen RV?
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, it was, when I was younger, it was a fun movie to watch. But it's so bad.
It's not the greatest.
You got to think, like,
I know some movies we didn't mention. We didn't mention the Night at the Museum.
I was just thinking that he played Teddy Roosevelt.
Wow.
Those are fun.
Yeah.
Those are just fun movies. Like,
talk about a Stiller filler.
Yeah, that would be part of the Stiller filler episode. I mean, just going through, that's the only one
Happy
that I
Feet.
really think
He voiced Happy Feet.
I like that. I like his
August
role in
Rush.
that.
Yeah. Robot. We mentioned robots.
Yeah, he had some out there ones too in Insomnia and 1 Hour Photo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or it was like, boy, he's gotten real dark, but they were good movies.
Do you remember the first time you saw Robin Williams?
The first time I saw him, was on Happy Days.
Happy Days.
But I didn't know who he was, and then Mork and Mindy came out.
Mork and Mindy, yeah.
And oh, this guy's awesome. And then I happened to, back in the day when they had VCRs, there I rented. You guys know what those are? VCRs? Do you? Do you?
The hell's a VHS?
The VHS.
um, he had a stand up. They did one of his comedy shows, and that's pretty much when I fell in love with him, because he was just all over the place. Um, going out in the crowd, taking pictures, making fun of the NFL field goal kickers. I want to be a field goal kicker, $1,000. And walking out in the crowd and people are smoking. He goes, "Oh, more smoke. I want to die." And just him being funny. And I was like, this is the guy that could make me feel good when I'm having a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
And there was times there'd be days I'm like, I'm gonna pop that in and just watch him go berserk. And then I'd be like, why was I having a bad day? He's awesome. So yeah, I saw him on Happy Days, like I said, but you didn't know who he was. You just, you thought it was
Some
some,
random dude.
yeah. And then like I said, he did Mork and Mindy, and it was like, yeah, I really like this. I actually have the complete series or whatever, all the episodes of Rob or Mork and Mindy. Found him at Walmart.
Is that
So
on
it's like,
VHS?
no, it's on DVD.
What's that?
That was a DVD player.
What do
I was
you
actually
mean?
I'm looking at his wiki right now, and I know they came out with that Once Upon a Studio this year on Disney Plus.
Oh
And
yeah,
it's all unused archived recordings of his
yeah,
voice. I'm gonna
yeah.
have
They
to
had to get
go
permission from the family
to use
Yeah.
that stuff.
and to use it.
So I would love. I mean, I need to watch it. I know Sarah's been wanting to watch it. So
Because I remember that it came out that Disney had a bunch of uncut Aladdin genie takes of him,
well, like
and
Rob just said, they had hours
ex-
upon hours.
exactly, and it's kind of like, and I believe it's mostly that stuff, and I think was it in his will, or for him not to, for his voice not to be used, or
If his voice in the biography, if his voice gets used, they have to get one permission from the family, and two, they have to pay for it.
okay,
Um, um, I believe they have to pay for it. But they have to have permission. They can't just,
yeah.
oh, hey. Um,
Hey, we
so
did this. Here's our fine. Here's
yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
they have to have permission to use it, and I don't. It's a long, many years. It's maybe 2050 or more than that before people can't. They can't
or it's
just take
public
his.
domain.
Yeah, so I don't know if it was in his will or if they just decided that's what they wanted to do. So,
yeah. I wonder.
Well,
I
I
mean,
mean, when you have all that stuff that's out there, right? Like it's like people use the Happy Birthday song because it's so old. You can use it because it's in public domain. But then you have, a newer version of a song that comes out that's similar that you can't use because it's got to be in the public eye for so long before you can use it. So I'm assuming once he wrote that in his will, they're like, okay, well then you still get the public domain era of like that time period. So, but
in the biography, the weirdest thing I think is the day that John Belushi had died.
mm,
He had been partying with him up to the like an hour before he had left, and then all of a sudden he goes to go tape a Mork and Mindy episode, and they said, "Did you hear about John?" And he goes, "No, what?" And he goes, "He died. He OD'd." And he was it hit him. It's like I was with him that night. So, but you would have thought maybe that would have stopped him from all the addictions, but it didn't.
Yeah.
yeah, once an addict, you can't really. It's
Yeah.
really hard to get somebody not to be. All right, guys. Well, let's wrap this up. Rob, we really appreciate you
Yes.
coming and hanging out. Finally doing your Robin Williams episode that you've been talking to me about
Yes.
for months.
Years upon
Yeah, just months, just months. Yeah, I really appreciate you coming on. Kind of last minute, but I knew, like you always tell me, if we need you on Chiefs fans, I can just text you and say, "Hey, run upstairs."
Yeah.
Now you know how
Run
to fix your. Now you know how to fix your audio.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'll have to keep my IT guy on retainer.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. All right. You guys got any last comments or anything like that?
I don't think so.
Mm-mm.
No. All right. Well, I'm gonna get us out of here then.
Do it.
Everybody, thank you for listening to the Call Guys podcast. Rob, you want to do the plugs, or I mean, you've heard him you've heard him 90 times. Yeah, thank you for listening.
You got my socials.
You got my socials. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, anywhere you get your podcasts. You can also find us on YouTube. Just search for the Call Guys podcast. Also check us out on all your favorite social media accounts, whether that be Facebook, facebook.com/the Call Guys pod, Instagram at the Call Guys, and TikTok at the Call Guys podcast. Also go check out the goldenmojoent.com website where you can find all of the other podcasts, and you can check out our merch store. You can find the Golden 80s podcast, the United States Paranormal podcast, the Golden Image podcast, Indiana Chiefs fans, the Murdnerds, and A Court of Books and Booze, all on that website. Just go to the page, click their links, take you wherever you want to go. But yeah, goldenmojoent.com. And also, if you want to get a hold of us, send us an email, thecallguyspodcast@gmail.com. It's been a while. Is anybody out there in podcast land? All right. Anything else, guys?
No, love you, brothers.
There it is.
Love you, brother.
True listener right there. Rob's been listening since like day one. He's a day oneer.
Oh my.
Yep. And I appreciate that, Rob. I do. I really do.
You guys are fun to listen to.
Oh
Sometimes.
geez.
Just don't ever go back and listen to the White Castle episode.
Oh geez.
I did. It wasn't that bad. Come on.
That's what I told him too.
Okay.
It's not our worst episode, but we definitely thought it was better after we were done.
Oh, we were like, dude, this was fun. This was awesome. Nah.
Gunner goes, don't get your hopes up Monday morning.
I did what I could. I came out with bloody hands and a scalpel.
Bloody hands and a scalpel.
I was like, no. All right. Everybody out there in podcast land, see you next time.
Later.
What the hell's a VHS?
Bye. See ya.
Peace out.
The Call Guy.